Hi, thank you so much for joining us. My name is Jenny Laurent, and I wanted to invite two leading experts with me to discuss an exciting topic that we wanted to share with you. So just to give you a little bit of background about how I came into the picture here is I have a good friend of mine who's a Lair Realty partner, introduced me to Stacy a little while ago in another industry. So I heard you guys were doing a 4-week tutorial, and I just wanted to, again, bring two experts with me to really share something that I think will really add a lot of value to your portfolio, distinguish you from other real estate agents in the industry, and really just be ahead of another economic curve that I'm really excited about. So again, one of the other things here is we all know that in this industry, this is how a lot of people, make their money. They want to succeed the most, serve the most people, and how can we add more value? How can we increase our own income? Maybe not with just working longer or harder, but maybe just tap into what I consider acres of diamonds. We all have a network. We all have services and things that we can offer that we might have even known about, and we have something new and exciting. It's brand new on the market. You're actually the first to hear about it out of any real estate agent on the market today. So without further ado, I'd like to give your ears and attention to, I have our first guest, Joe Loud. He's a solar expert based out of Massachusetts, Associated Energy Developers, and he's going to talk to us today about solar as a real estate investment. And then I'm also going to bring on Brendan Kenny, who is another leading expert in the field of renewable energy. He's going to talk about some exciting software. So I'm going to turn it over to Joe first. So thank you, Joe. Thanks for being
here.
Jenny.
Really excited to be here with you guys. My background, going back half my life really, has been in real estate and banking, in and around real estate. A couple of years ago, I was approached in a role at the time with a private equity group by some solar developers, commercial solar developers, who were looking for some funding for commercial solar projects. And I got to be honest with you, and this was just a couple years ago, so you're calling me an expert today, and other people have said that too, but that goes to show you, it doesn't take that long, or it's not really rocket science to learn this solar stuff. But what I saw when they presented me with some projects and some numbers was I really saw that what we were talking about was building another income property on top of existing income properties. And I saw that there was a huge opportunity. You talk about acres of diamonds. Well, right now you can drive down the road, and I'm going to talk first about commercial solar. I know that we have a lot of residential real estate agents here. Jenny's going to be able to talk to you a little bit about a really great referral program that we've got. We don't necessarily expect for anybody to be an expert in either commercial solar or commercial real estate, but rather just tap into an existing network, bring value to people, tell them about some exciting new things, about how they can be an early adopter. Mm-hmm. But this idea that all of the rooftops that you drive by on the road might someday, and probably will someday, have solar. I found out a startling statistic when I was first looking into this, and that is that on a sunny day, the sun actually hits the earth with enough energy, it radiates the earth with enough energy in 1 hour to power the entire earth's needs for energy for an entire year. And so the fact that we're not just harnessing that, catching it and using it and turning it into something useful for ourselves is really just maybe a lack of time, lack of imagination, lack of technology. But right now we're at like this really interesting tipping point where everybody's kind of heard about solar. It's definitely made its way into the mainstream on the residential side of the world. But I see that there is a giant, huge, wide open opportunity when it comes to the commercial solar side of the business, because every one of those rooftops that you go by is a possible opportunity to incorporate an energy system, which actually, when you look at it as an investment, turns into a new income property. But these types of income properties are even better than the ones that we're typically talking about, because the tenant is the sun, right? And the sun isn't moving out anytime soon. And it always comes up and it always shines. And sometimes, we've got bad weather days, but the good news is that over time, these systems actually pay for themselves. Mm-hmm. And there's some really awesome incentives right now available for investors, for property owners. And then we as a company, we can bring in third-party investors as well to really make it a painless transition for business, for a property owner. So Associated Energy Developers, our company, was founded in the wind industry, actually. The founder of our company goes back to the late 70s with renewable energy. So he's really got a tremendous background. The company has a great pedigree. After building wind turbines, solar systems are actually kind of easy, right? We don't have any moving parts. Solar panels, or I like to call them money nets, are just silicone and wire, right? And when you put them out in the sun, they catch the sun's rays. If we could see what was happening, if we could see the sun coming down and dropping on the panel and then those electrons turning into dollars on the way out, everybody would already have it. Right now, it's still a little bit of an ethereal thing. It's something that people are still getting used to.
Yeah.
But I know a little bit about Lair. Again, my background is in real estate and banking. I brought that experience into the solar industry, and we're having a ton of success because we've looked at, what are some programs that's going to make it easy for the property owner to say yes. If the property owner has a tax appetite and they've got, a tax bill that they want to get rid of, there are some great tax incentives that come with owning a solar system. There's financing available now. There's lots and lots of more banks that are coming into this. They're waking up to this new thing. They're learning it too, right along with the real estate agents, the property owners, everybody. It's a new thing. But when you look at it and you find out that you can actually build this system, and between tax incentives and the revenue that's coming in from the sale of the electricity and the incentives, it pays for itself. The financing's paid for. These things are typically cash flow positive in the first year. Whether it's the property owner owning it or if it's one of our investors owning it or our investment company ourselves. If they'd rather not deal with it, this is a really neat thing. We can rent their roof or their land. We call that hands-free solar. So we're trying to make it real easy for people to understand. We're trying to demystify the whole thing. Jenny's going to be a great resource for you guys when you have questions and you've got people who might be interested. I think right now you've got an opportunity to be an early adopter. And I'm telling you that I really believe I've looked into this. I didn't make the move without thinking about it. I looked into it, and I think that really over the next 5 years or so, we're going to have a huge paradigm shift where we're going to go from, there will be a tipping point. We're going to go from it being a little odd to see a solar system on a building or in a house, or it's going to go from it being the exception to it being the rule.
Majority.
I think that within the next 5 years, we're going to see that complete shift, and you're going to want to get ahead of that curve. You're going to want to be seen as an early adopter, and we can easily talk about solar as a real estate investment. On the commercial side of the world, it's really easy for us to point to how a solar system would actually add value to the property. You guys may or may not know, but in commercial real estate, the income approach to valuation is used, meaning that unlike with a home where you're comparing that home to some other home that's like it to figure out how much it's worth, with commercial real estate, you're really looking at how much revenue after expenses that property brings in, and that's the net operating income that is then, the market-driven numbers tell you what type of net operating income you need, what type of value that equates to. With solar, whether you own it, the property owner owns it, or if they're renting us their roof, in both cases you're increasing the net operating income for the property, and you're not increasing expenses. And so really what that does, it automatically increases the value of that commercial property. Now on the residential side, there's different ways to set the deal up. I know that a lot of you have probably run into situations before where you're walking into a situation where somebody's already gotten solar on their house. They might have entered into some sort of a lease deal, or maybe they bought it. There's been a lot of confusion about how to handle the transfer of the property. How does the solar system go with the property? How does it affect the new property owner? Those questions are very valid. There are a lot of different ways that the deals can be put together, just like in any typical real estate deal when it comes to financing and things like that. But we're here to tell you that you've got a smart friend now in the solar industry. We're based in Plymouth, Mass., but we do business nationwide. We've got an installation network, partnerships. Our company is called Associated for a reason. We like to associate with other people in other industries and in our industry to scale and to grow without necessarily having to hire everybody ourselves, but rather by strategic partnerships.
Right.
And so we're excited to be in a strategic partnership with Lair Realty. You guys are really in a position where you're with a company that's looking forward. that's focused on giving you opportunities to add value and to be different in your marketplace. And when you can differentiate yourselves from the crowd, even with just knowing a little bit about something that other people are scratching their head on, you're known as an innovator. You're known as a forward thinker. You're known as a disruptor. And for me, I mean, that's what excites me. That's what gets me out of bed in the morning, is to think that we can go out there and change the status quo for the better. With solar, nobody loses. Everybody wins. You know, we're taking abundance that's being basically just dropped on us, and we're turning it into something, right? If we're not, then we're missing it. When the sun hits the earth and we don't catch it, that opportunity is lost. So that lost opportunity cost is something that we should be thinking about. And when you have an opportunity to make money by referring somebody into something that is only going to make them money, it's a win-win-win all the way around. And we like to be able to show people that. We take a very consultative approach, just like you guys do with your customers. So there will be some continuity with service. And we've got a great liaison, a great ambassador that works with both of our companies. And we're excited to be working with you guys. We're also very excited to be working with our partners at Vive. Talk about innovators and disruptors. You guys are killing it. And so in the energy industry, these guys are really making some waves.
Thanks. Yeah, no, it's been great. It's and I'm here to tell you, my name is Brendan Kenny. I'm here to tell you a little bit about our program and how many of you can participate in that program. My background is I actually have been in front of a couple industries that have deregulated, one being the telecom industry. I got my first big professional break, was being one of the first people ever to sell a cell phone in America. It was a little company called Nextel, and I actually ended up becoming one of the largest Nextel dealers in the country because of timing. I was just in the right place at the right time, and our company took advantage of that incredible opportunity. We also were introduced to the energy deregulation in 2010, and we took advantage of that with a supplier and had a tremendous amount of success as well. But that industry is a little more complicated, and so over the last decade, if you live in Massachusetts, if you're associated with people here, but really nationwide, you, the consumer, this is what the energy deregulation is. You, the consumer, the homeowner, has the right to choose actually where their energy comes from. Yet here, 2 decades into energy deregulation, and yet still the public hasn't taken advantage of that. Only 30% of the public nationwide is taking advantage of energy choice, and in Massachusetts the statistics actually are closer to 20%, which means there are millions of customers that are overpaying for the electricity. So what that simply means is, if you live in Massachusetts and you have National Grid or Eversource as your utility company, those utility companies allow you to choose where it comes from. Now, the consumer really doesn't understand that, so the company was developed, the company Vive was powered by Utilize. There's a gentleman that actually took advantage of choice about 3 years ago named Kevin Manley, and he actually thought he was getting a great deal, and he took advantage of a 6-month offer, and then obviously in month 7 he wasn't paying attention, and all of a sudden that supplier took advantage of him and started to raise their rates. So he looked at that as a problem and decided to make a solution out of that. And so he developed a software called Autopilot, and this is what's going to be available to all of you, where you can go to a consumer, and if you're in real estate, I like to do things, it's very simple, we do things with our phones. So it's a matter of literally just taking a picture of someone's electric bill, and what his software does, very innovative, it goes to the open market and takes advantage of all the hundreds of offers that are available to the public every single day, and it actually goes and finds the best value for the consumer. The person that's paying that electric bill, it'll match up the best value with that person's home, in essence saving them money. So our program does all the work for the customer. And when that initial term is up, when the software picks a supplier with a great rate offer, when that term is up, then the software on behalf of the customer will go back to the open market and go shop and find the best value deal for whoever's available then. So constantly giving value to your customer, saving your customer money on something that they're already paying, which is an electric bill. So now think about it in the mind of a real estate broker. You have an opportunity where you've just sold someone a beautiful home and they're excited, and you're both excited. your real estate broker and the person that bought the home. Now, wouldn't it be a nice gift if you could just actually be able to help your new homeowner with a product that's going to guarantee that they save money on something that they're going to be paying an electric bill? So this product is going to, it's new, it's been in the marketplace for a couple years in beta, and we're actually rolling it out in October, a special program called the Affiliate Program, where a real estate broker can get involved with our company. They can utilize this referral source. They'll have their own portal. They can track everything. They can give it away as a gift. They can refer it. And it's like a good movie. When you're saving people money, you're going to be starting to refer it. And the program is designed to actually build a residual component to it. So for every Autopile customer that's enjoying our service, the real estate broker will be able to earn a little commission on the back end, and it'll just keep getting bigger and bigger with more referrals. So it's a great program for, I believe, the real estate industry. Very excited working with a bunch of real estate folks around the up and down the East Coast. But we haven't even launched this program. So I believe that Jenny's going to be running out, we're going to be running out a special program this week where we're going to do a more formal presentation where we can actually get into the dollars and cents and how the referral program works and how the affiliate program works from A to Z, so a real estate broker can see how easy the process is. So we're going to do that this week. I think we're going to do it on Friday at noon.
Yep.
So that'll be exciting. But you know, at the end of the day, this technology it's brand new. It's been developed. It's been in beta for 2 years. We have thousands of customers on our beta program. We have yet to lose a customer, so our retention is 100% because one of the functions of our software, so as your customer comes on, one of the key functions of our software is we actually send an email to your customer every month letting them know exactly how much money they're saving over the utility. So we believe what's been lacking in the industry is transparency, and we believe that if you can tell the customer the value of what they're getting every single month and you remind them every single month, they will stay loyal customers and they're not going to go anywhere. If a customer's saving money and they can see it every month, they're going to be loyal to that product. And so there's going to be an opportunity for it to obviously go a little bit viral, because as we get into the marketplace and people are starting to see that they can take advantage of it and there's something that'll work on their behalf, they will start to spread the word. And we want you guys at your firms to be able to be one of the first ones to bring this innovative product to your markets, to your customers. And that's going to be something that's going to obviously put you ahead of your competition, which hopefully makes everyone happy right here. So I'm looking forward to working with all your groups and anything I can do to help. My role is really nationwide, but I live here local to Massachusetts as well, and so Jenny and I will work closely with your organization to make sure that you have all the right tools and everything that comes along with it. One of the key features that I love about our software is we make it very easy to communicate. We have a shareable system, meaning it's a trackable system, where you can track things and send information from your phone via email or text that really does a nice job of explaining exactly what we do in a very short period of time. And that comes part of the program, by the way. There's no charge for that. So our affiliate program is going to make it very easy for you to get involved. So look forward to
one of the things too. We play off each other all the time.
Yeah.
I mean, we have a lot of fun when you're talking to somebody already about their energy management choices, saving money in their electricity. We can use that same electric bill to develop a quote for solar, and now you can hopefully cross-sell the two. I found that talking to people about this autopilot program has been one of the easiest, best ways for our people and for your teams to start the conversation about some of these other larger ticket items and solar and stuff like that. With the software, it's so easy for people just to sign up. It's guaranteed savings, all that stuff, and then you've got this other added conversation on top of it. So we love working together with these guys. They're really good.
Yeah, it's a perfect mix, and if someone doesn't qualify for a solar program, they can at least take advantage of something that's going to save them money. So we're looking forward to getting into more detail. We'll get into the weeds. We'll do a special invite. We'll invite you on Friday. I'll do a special, in-depth look at the program and how it works. We're launching it in October, so hopefully by the time you see this program and then we get it running, you guys can be the first ones to take advantage of the program and go out and refer a lot of customers and make sure you have a lot of happy customers saving a lot of money on their electric bill. So thank you guys very much for having us on, and we'll see you this week.
Yeah, thank you, Joe. Thank you, Brendan. I really appreciate that. So again, I just wanted to close this out with, again, we're inviting you to a webinar that we're doing this Friday, and we'll host more if there's enough interest. So it's going to be this Friday. It's going to be the 21st at 12 noon Eastern. And I'm going to ask that you send me an email. I'm going to spell it for you. It's jennygogreen@gmail.com. So JENNIEGOGREEN@gmail.com. We're going to go a little bit more in depth because, again, we really just scratched the surface here, especially with solar. Again, I've got some mind-blowing things I really want to share. We just didn't have as much time as we need to really give it the justice it deserves. So again, I'm excited to share that with you, and I hope that you can join us live. If you can't attend, we will be recording it. We invite you to bring anybody that you think would be interested, whether they're in the real estate industry or any other industry, electricians, construction workers, anybody that would really want to, again, be ahead of this amazing economic curve, this amazing technology that's really going to disrupt the market. And like I said, how can we make it a win-win for all of you? So again, thank you so much for your time today, and I look forward to seeing you again. That email is jennygogreen@gmail.com. Hope to see you Friday.